You're listening to Tassie Encounters Moments on Faith FM, and we're coming to you from Tasmania, right across Australia. Each weekday on Tassie Encounters, you can hear what the Bible says about past, current and future events. You can learn how to study the Bible more effectively. You can get to know who God is, why we're here and where we're going. And you can experience personal encounters with Jesus. I'm your host, Jason Cook. And today, again, we've got Kevin Amos joining us. And Kevin is currently travelling around Australia in a special vehicle called Bubsie. Welcome, Kevin. It's good to have you back again.
Hi, Jason. Good to catch up again and to share a little bit more about the Bubsie story.
Now, as we speak, as this goes to air, should I say, not as we speak because we're recording it ahead of time, you should be arriving in Hobart on the Wednesday, the 25th of March. So if you're listening on the 25th of March, this is as we speak, and the vehicle will be arriving in Hobart. And you will have just come through from the West Coast, having then previously been up on the Northwest. So have you enjoyed your travelling around Tasmania so far, Kevin?
Yes, it's been delightful. Having lived here for 7 years, it's really great to be back, to see the beautiful scenery and to catch up with the people who live in this region of Tasmania and a number of friends that we made when we lived here.
And down the West Coast, there's a bit of driving down there, and let's hope everything's gone smoothly for you with your vehicle it's just over 100 years old. So it's must be an interesting trip that you're doing. And are you travelling with your wife in the vehicle? Is that what's happening?
Okay, Bubsie is very cozy in a car trailer.
Okay, right. So you're not actually driving the vehicle.
The vehicle is fully road registered,
Yep.
But we made the decision. We do not want to drive a car at 30 kilometres an hour on an open highway at 110 with a big semi-trailer coming up behind us.
Could be dangerous.
And pretty dangerous. And secondly, Bubsie is 103 years old. And the less I drive it, the longer it will go.
Sure. Awesome. Okay. But we get the chance to see Bubsie in real life if you catch up with Kevin and Bubsie on the journey.
You are welcome to come and have a look, and you will be able to hear the motor running, see some of the interesting features of the car, and at some of the displays we will drive it around as well.
And remember, this not this very vehicle, but one the same, was made history by circumnavigating the whole of mainland Australia in 1925. So it's a bit of a historic vehicle that we're showcasing here. So, Kevin, we've been talking about your journey from Perth, and not only your journey, but also the original journey from Perth to Darwin. And I think we're about halfway there at the moment, around about the Kimberleys. So continue the story from the Kimberleys up to Darwin. I imagine there was some more interesting things on the way.
Yes, certainly. Because he's now in the area where there's no roads, he's using first and second gear a lot.
Right.
And he tells how he noticed that the car was not staying in second gear. He would go from first to second, it would ping and drop back out. And he said, in fact, I had to hold the gear stick in second to keep it going. And then crunch, the cog of second gear stripped teeth off, and he wasn't going anywhere.
That doesn't sound good.
Fortunately, he was about 2 k's out of Halls Creek, and he knew that. So he literally got out his personal belongings, or both of them, and they walked into Halls Creek. And it was interesting. I think it was a Sunday night, and a local Methodist group were holding a sing-song. So he joined them for the sing-song. Then he explained his predicament. We have a car, but it's down the road, down the bush, and can anyone help us? So he got accommodation, And then next day, he got hold of 2 horses and they went back out to Bubsie and they pulled Bubsie into Halls Creek. Now, Neville, as I said on our first interview, grew up on a cattle station and he knew something about machinery. So he pulled Bubsie's gearbox out of the car. He pulled the gearbox apart and took out the second gear cog. And, yeah, it was stripped. The teeth had gone. And he said, does anyone round here have a blacksmith? And he discovered that there was a station out of Halls Creek where there was a very good blacksmith. So he took the cog out, riding a horse, and said to the blacksmith, can you reconstruct the teeth on the cog? And the blacksmith had a look and said, yeah, mate, I can do that. And he did it. He reformed the teeth using his blacksmith technique of melting metal onto the cog and grinding the teeth back to make them look smart, tempered it a bit, and Neville took the cog back, put it in the car and loaded up, and they started heading out, and 2 kilometres later the teeth on the cog stripped again.
Right.
So this is where Neville writes a very interesting letter home to Mum. He writes, I am doing something to be a blessing to people in remote communities. I believe what I am doing is to help people to understand about God. Why am I having all these problems? He inquired, and it would have taken 6 weeks for a new cog to be sent out to Halls Creek by camel train. So that was the transport method back then. And he's thinking, do we give up? Do we just get ourselves back to Perth? What do we do? So he had another chat to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith said, okay, I'll do it again, but this time I will temper the cog thoroughly, but it's going to take 2 weeks at least to do it. So Neville thought, well, that's probably the better option. So the cog was returned to the blacksmith, and for 2 weeks, Neville sat in Halls Creek and Greg, wondering, okay, what are we going to do?
What did they do while they were there?
Okay, 3 things came up. The only other car in Halls Creek belonged to the hotel manager where they were staying. So he fixed his car. It took him 3 days, but he fixed it. And the hotel manager was very grateful and allowed Neville to use his car to go and check on the progress of the cog getting fixed.
Okay.
Secondly, while they were staying in Halls Creek, remote community homesteaders came into town to buy supplies, and Neville was able to sell them books. So he was earning money to pay the hotel to be able to stay in Halls Creek. So he wasn't out of pocket. And thirdly, people said, you're a Christian, aren't you? Yeah. What does your church do to help help Aboriginal people who live in these remote outback areas? And Neville thought, I don't know. And so he really started to take an interest in these Aboriginal communities and go and visit them and say hi and find out how they were doing. In fact, in that 10-day period that he was there, he was invited to witness a corroboree.
Right.
Now, that is pretty special for a European, just to be invited to come and see a corroboree. And Neville said in his mind, if I can do something to help Aboriginal people because they are needing care with their health and with their understanding of life, I will do it. And that's what he did the following year in 1926 when he drove right round Australia again with a nurse and a dentist.
Wow.
So a month later, he writes home to Mum. Our stop in Halls Creek to fix a cog was a real blessing. We sold far more books. We fixed the hotel manager's car, and I have started to make friends with the Aboriginal community, and I think there is something we can do to help minister to them.
There's a real lesson in that, isn't there, Kevin, that sometimes when we think things are going wrong, God's got other plans.
Yep. And so, look, don't get upset. God has other arrangements that we can go on with, and they will be a real blessing.
Mm. So where to from Halls Creek?
Okay, heading up into the Pilbara, and that is iron ore country and puncher country.
Right.
The tyres back 100 years ago were not as strong as what they are now, and he was getting puncher after puncher after puncher. He carried repair kits with him, but then eventually he ran out of repair kit punches, and he was stuffing the tyres with grass, on one occasion even an animal hide.
Wow.
But they finally struggled into Victoria Down Station, and they had a vulcanising machine, and Neville was able to take a number of old tyres that were there at the station, plus some of his own, and remake inner tube tyres with a vulcanising machine.
It's amazing. They really did some incredible things of making their own tyres and their gears and all sorts of things. You think about it today, and it blows your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. It said it took him 2 days to get the hang of how to do it, but once he did it, he was able to actually make four or five tyres that held the air, and on those he was able to get the car through to Catherine.
Wow, that's incredible. That's amazing. So really this trip was becoming a lot more than just getting to Darwin, and even just a lot more than selling books on the way. And
yes, it became a test of your faith, of your trust in other people, and the ability to keep on going, facing the challenges that come up every day, knowing that God already has a solution in place. I mean, Neville never knew that Victoria Station had a vulcanising machine, but it was there. And so were all the old tubes that he needed to be able to remake some inner tubes. You know, this God already knew that he needed a vulcanising machine for his trip. And, you know, it would probably been there for 2 or 3 years, ready for Neville to use.
Absolutely. So, Kevin, tell us today that this goes to air is the 25th of March, Wednesday. So tell us about your plans around the Hobart area.
Okay. On our website, tij.tv/RAA, there are some plans there of displays that will be around the Hobart region. I know we're going to Hilliard School on the Thursday and Friday to talk with the students. And on Saturday, we will be at the Glen Orkney Seventh-day Adventist Church on Main Street. The car will be on display. And on that 11 o'clock worship time, my wife and I will be retelling the story of Neville and Greg, and also our adventures from last year. And on the Sunday at the Hilliard Christian School, Bubsie will be on display.
Awesome. So do come along on Sunday. We'll get you some more information. If you're listening to Faith FM, you'll hear some promos for that as well. So, look forward to catching up with you at Hilliard on Sunday. It'll be a great day to meet you in person, Kevin, and have a look at the vehicle.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us again, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll look at a little bit more of the trip as we head down from Darwin and down the East Coast. So join us again tomorrow. Thank you again, Kevin. Stay tuned for our book offer that's coming up.
This program is made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.
Our book offer today is Bubsie and the Boys, the first journey around Australia by car. This is written by David Riley, and it's the full story in book form of this story that we've been talking about this week with Kevin. Bubsie and the Boys tells the comprehensive, epic story of this adventurous big lap of Australia in detail. And there are a lot of photos in the book as well, so if you're interested in getting a book of this story and being able to read it in detail, look at the pictures, text us in the code word for this book, TEM61. That's TEM61. No spaces. Text that into our show number 0488 880 891. That's 0488 880 891. We go out today with Yes, I Will by Anthem Lights. May you encounter Jesus more today.
I count on one thing. The same God who never fails will not fail me now. Will not fail me now in the waiting. The same God who's never late is working all things out. Is working all things out. Yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh, yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy all my days. Oh, yes, I will. I count on one thing. The same God that never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now. In the waiting, the same God is never late. Is working all things out. Is working all things out. Oh yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Oh yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy for all my days. Oh yes, I will for all my days. Oh yes, I will. And I choose to praise, to glorify the name of our names. That nothing can stand against. And I choose to praise, to glorify the name of our names. That nothing can stand against. Oh yes, I will lift you high in the lowest valley. Yes, I will bless your name. Yes, I will sing for joy when my heart is heavy for all my days. Oh yes, I will for all my days. Oh yes, I will for all my days. Oh yes, I will.
This program has been made possible by the support of Adventist World Radio.